7 p.m. in the nation's capital. Good evening and welcome to the 7 p.m. news on Info Television. To kickstart our newscast, first, the top stories. In this newscast, we shall be visiting the operational phase of a strategic project to transform Central Africa's main trade artery has begun with the inaugural session of its steering committee that took place today and was chaired by the Minister of Transport, Jean-Ernest Masséna Ngale-Bibehe. Away from that, we shall be taking you to Niete, where organized by the Union Network for Women's Leadership in the Ocean Division, women say no to violence, a commitment made in favor of social justice, equal opportunity, and respect for human dignity. Those are main points. Now the news in further details. Welcome back. As you heard in one of our top stories, the operational phase of a strategic project to transform Central Africa's main trade artery has begun with the inaugural session of its steering committee in Yaoundé. The meeting is chaired by the Minister of Transport, Jean-Ernest Masséna Ngale-Bibehe. Details in this report. The high-level meeting of the inaugural session of the steering committee for the regional project to improve the Douala-N'Djamena Railroad corridor took place this 18th of December 2025 at the Hilton Hotel in Yaoundé. The meeting brought together technical experts and development partners, which marked the operational launch of a strategic initiative to transform the primary trade artery for Cameroun, Chad, and the Central African Republic. The corridor is a vital economic lifeline, with over 80% of Chad's international trade relying on the port of Douala. However, the Minister of Transport, Jean-Ernest Masséna Ngale-Bibehe, outlined critical challenges shifting its potential, aging railway and road infrastructure that limits speed and cargo weight, coupled with cumbersome administrative procedures at borders. These bottlenecks inflate costs and delay goods, undermining regional competitiveness and integration.
Le comité va examiner l'état de mise en œuvre du PCDN, qui est le projet régional pour l'amélioration de la performance.
The committee will review the implementation status of the PCDN, which is the performance project for the Douala-N'Djamena corridor. This World Bank-funded project involves both Cameroon and Chad. For Cameroon, it will involve rehabbing the Douala-Yaoundé rail line and upgrading the signaling system between Douala and Gaoundéré. There are also activities on the trade facilitation and transit, plus a component on road safety. Now they will review progress since the World Bank funding kicked in June 2024 and discuss ways to speed up the project, which had some delays. Financed by the World Bank, the project responds with a comprehensive 4-component plan, rehabilitating the Douala-Yaoundé railway, investing in railroad connections and safety, upgrading the N'Djamena-Moudou road in Chad, and facilitating trade through the digitalized procedures. For Cameroon, the strategic pivots on shifting freight from road to rail to preserve highways and streamlining cross-border transit. The Minister of Transport emphasized that the newly formed steering committee is not a mere formality. It is tasked with rigorous oversight, ensuring strict adherence to the project timeline, guaranteeing transparent use of resources, and removing institutional obstacles. The committee's work is crucial to converting the multi-billion CFA franc investment into tangible reductions in transit costs and time, thereby boosting trade volumes and regional cohesion. And on to this information just coming in, a memorandum of agreement between the Ministry of Women's Empowerment and the Family and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees took place this December 18, 2025 at the Ministerial Department in Yaoundé. The purpose of this agreement is to define the terms and conditions of the partnership between the Ministry and the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, as well as the shared strategic objectives in favor of gender equality, economic empowerment of women, protection of rights and well-being of women, children and families, including in humanitarian situation. Let's get an excerpt of the United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees representative selected for us by Mimi Tiobo.
I would like to express my gratitude to the government of Cameroon for hosting more than 400,000 refugees on its territory. The signing of this memorandum of understanding is a concrete example of the solidarity of the government of Cameroon with refugees. And this signing of memorandum also is a big step in order to strengthen our partnership with MINIPROF. And this memorandum will help us to change the life of many women and girls. As you know, many refugees, more than 50% of refugees are women and girls. And we want to work together. Together we can strengthen their inclusion, socio-economic inclusion, to prevent the violence, the gender-based violence, and also to promote coordination in order to have an impact on our programs.
Away from that, we now take you to the southwest region of Cameroon, where Zacchaeus Bakoma Elango has been re-elected as the president of the Southwest Regional Assembly, while Chief Kombe Richard Ndeke was chosen to lead the House of Chiefs. This occurred during the session as of right held to elect other bureau members. Details in this report. The high-profile event brought together 70 councillors and 20 traditional rulers from all 6 divisions of the Southwest region. Also in attendance were representatives of the CPDM Central Committee, senior divisional officers, and the governor of the Southwest region, Bernardo Kalai Bilai, who represented the state. In his keynote address, Governor Okalia Bilai emphasized the need for the newly elected officials to prioritize regional development and to accelerate the decentralization process as envisioned by the government. In his acceptance speech, Zacchaeus Bakoma Elango expressed gratitude to President Paul Biya and the CPDM leadership for renewing their trust in his leadership. He reaffirmed his commitment to serving the region, stating that the construction of a permanent head office for the Regional Assembly will be one of the key projects under the new mandate. His remarks were echoed by Chief Richard Ndeke, who promised a new dynamic at the helm of the House of Chiefs to better address traditional and community needs.
We started the Regional Assembly from nowhere. There were no terms of references, but we did all we could to improve on the living conditions of our people with the means put at our disposal. It is our fervent hope, and we are determined that with the experience that we have acquired during the second mandate, we'll do more. And we want to say, using this medium, that our first project during the second mandate is to construct the headquarters of the Southwest Regional Assembly.
There are so many innovations we are trying to put in place per this mandate, and this is my first time of being an executive member. I cannot boast here to tell you that I will do this, I will do that, I will do that. No. I think after our first session, second session, I can have the opportunity to explain so many things to you. But today is a day of celebration. I just want to say thank you people and thank everybody who assisted me.
Newly elected regional councillors and the executive bureau expressed satisfaction with the smooth conduct of the inaugural session and pledged to serve with dedication.
I consider it a privilege that I've been given the opportunity to serve my people. There's a lot to be done. I will hit the road running inside the House of Chiefs.
The head of state has put this structure in place for us to make sure develop our different localities.
As the Southwest region continues to face socio-political challenges from the prolonged Anglophone crisis, the population now looks to the new regional leadership with renewed hope for impactful governance, community development, and peace-building efforts in the years ahead. And as you heard in one of our top stories organized by the Union Network for Women's Leadership in the Ocean Division, Women Say No to Violence, a commitment made in favor of social justice, equal opportunities, and respect for human dignity. The meeting was rich in exchanges, teachings, and emotions, as we tell us Mimi Tiobo.
In Nyete, in the Ocean Division, women say no to violence. Organized by the Union Network for Female Leadership Oceans Divisional Office. This meeting is a strong act of commitment, a clear and responsible position in favor of social justice, equal opportunities, and respect for human dignity, in particular, and that of working women in general. Through the theme, No Violence Against Women, violence in all its forms has no place either in the world of work or in the society. The Union Network for Female Leadership Oceans Division firmly believe that the sustainable development and social performances necessarily involve the promotion of female leadership, the protections of women's rights, and the creation of safe, respectful, and equitable professional environment. This mobilization wants to prove that women are not only beneficiaries of the union struggle, but also major actors of social change. It is a question for the participant, marking this framework of exchange, a space for freedom of speech, sharing experiences, and building lasting solutions. Women have the right to respect, safety, and equality.
To lay emphasis on the fact that we should not have violence or less violence in the working milieu.
Let women take this harassment as a force, as an opportunity to produce the best of themselves. The goal is to denounce and to know where to denounce. The reflections carry out the messages shared, and the symbolic march accomplished serve as a strong reminder that the fight against rape against women is a collective, permanent, and non-negotiable responsibilities.
Traffic congestion in the city of Yaoundé has become a major challenge, turning daily movement into a real struggle for many passengers, as many turn to abandon taxis in favor of motorbikes, seen as a faster and more suitable alternative. Our reporter, Jessica Ndiwum, toured several streets in Yaoundé and report on the reality on the ground. Her report.
Driving through some streets in the capital has become a real obstacle course, with traffic jams stretching as far as the eye can see. From early morning to late evening, major roads are often brought to a standstill, leaving passengers stranded and frustrated. Faced with this difficult situation, many residents tend to abandon taxis in favor of motorbikes, as they are considered faster and more adaptable. Let's say that in traffic jams, motorbikes weave through and get there faster. I prefer to take the motorbikes to get to my destination quickly, and it's also the fastest means of transportation. During the holiday season, taxis are hard to find and expensive, while bike riders are cheaper. You suggest with what you have, and he agrees. These days, it's only the motorbikes. There's too much traffic. To cross Sam Escal and get here takes me less than 15 minutes by motorbike, but by car, it can take more than 30 minutes. The growing choice of motorbikes for fast passengers transport has become a real opportunity for bike riders who are determined to make the most of the situation. At the end of the year, motorbikes are in higher demand with Christmas, New Year's Eve, and more. More money for parties and gatherings, there's more traffic, and motorbikes become the preferred choice for getting around. Some days business is good and you can double your earnings. Instead of 5,000 CFA francs, you can make 10,000 francs CFA. While waiting for traffic to return to normal in the coming weeks, congestion remains heavy, forcing many passengers to choose motorbikes over taxis to avoid long traffic jams as much as possible.
Away from that, the workshop of the second session of the Academic and Scientific Council of the University of Sciences, Technologies and Ethics of Yaoundé was held last Wednesday, December 17, 2025. The ceremony was chaired by Professor Ndongsi, President of the Council, in the University Conference Room. The aim was to take stock of the 2024-2025 academic year and plan for the current academic year, as you tell us, Mimi Tiobo.
In the presence of all members of the council, including former Minister Jean-Marie Ngakou, statistical engineers, the heads of the supervising universities and the Ministry of Higher Education, and many others, the 2024-2025 academic year at the University of Sciences, Technologies and Ethics was scrutinized. A year which has seen success in achieving several objectives set during the first council. This year, it is a question of taking up numerous challenges.
L'objectif de conseil scientifique, académique et scientifique dans une université.
The objective of the Scientific and Academic Council in a university, I will say that a university functions with programs, teachers and teaching method. Generally, at the beginning of each academic year, this council meets and we submit our program to them. They review, observe and make remarks. We take this into account and present our teachers, all of them, and they examine their qualification, experience and validate them. We also present to them all our plans for national and international cooperation. Expectations were taken into account for a university whose stocks are high. We are delighted to see that USTA is positioning itself as a dynamic modern university with significant development prospect for the future of Cameroonians youth who are trained here. So it is a university that stands out for the quality of its teaching, the quality of its teaching staff, and the quality of the project carried out by its president and the council. During the council, members are reassured that the quality of teaching meets the standard of current technologies. To modestly contribute our expertise through program assessment, teachers and course evaluation, and verification of the quality of equipment and laboratories for engineering programs, it's essential to combine theories with practice. To achieve this, any reputation institution must have a well-equipped laboratory. The university in the ranking of private universities in the Central Region, USTA intends to improve its position in this year 2025-2026.
The Friends of Association of Church Elders of Parishes of the Église Presbyterienne Camerounaise held their National Council this December 16, 2025 at the Mimboman Galie Parish in Yaoundé. The session is presided over by the National President, Professor Philemon Zozam, as you tell us, Mildred Fonge.
Members of Friends Association of Elders of the Église Presbyterienne Camerounaise, dubbed AMAI, gathered at the Mimboman Galilée Parish to table issues relating to the 2026 ecclesiastical year. The day's lesson was taken from the Gospel according to St. Matthew chapter 1, verses 18 to 25, calling on church servants to be true Josephs, caring for the infant Jesus. Discussions were led by Professor Philemon Zozam, President of the Association's National Executive Council. It is the last session of the National Council of AMAI for the year 2026. We consecrated this session to taking reports of the various synods, and we also got reports of our permanent committee, and we can say that AMAI is up. A positive assessment led to the projections for the 2026 fiscal year, which includes the National Congress scheduled for May and numerous other events.
The
reports at the level of the different committees show that Amayi plays a very great role in the functioning of our church. We also evoked the Congress which was held in the month of March, and we did evaluation after 5 years of what went wrong and what went right. The Amaye EPC is also committed to social projects that align with the missions of God's people. Elders were called upon to lead by example. While waiting for our 2026 General Assembly, the first thing is prayer. We all have to be in prayer so that the sons and daughters of EPC can come together and give another dynamic of peace and reconciliation. And for the church elders, they need to associate themselves to this action. As the various commissions worked, greatness is expected in future plans. Singing and dancing also crowned the session.
The Order of Health medical professionals have raised alarm over poor and illegal medical practices in the country, while calling on the government to urgently enforce medical standards following a series of cases relating to professional misconduct. Phillips NG completes that story.
In a press briefing on December 18, 2025 in Yaoundé, the Order of Health and Medical Professionals expresses dissatisfaction over poor and illegal practices by some medical personnel in health facilities, as well as irregularities in the training of certain practitioners, which has led to the death of some Cameroonians in recent months.
OPMS is entrusted with a dual mandate to regulate the practice of health professions and to guarantee the quality and safety of care provided to the population throughout the licensing of health professionals who have received appropriate, accredited and competency-based initial education. This mandate directly contributes to patients' protection, public trust, and the strengthening and sustainability of the national health system.
This by collaborating with the government and stakeholders to address the alarming disorder in health professional education, both parties adopted resolutions to ensure the smooth functioning and respect of health rules and regulations. However, these regulations are yet to be implemented.
Regrettably, we must today note with profound indignation that the vast majority of these resolutions have not been implemented. We are witnessing a troubling administrative inertia and the continual non-compliance of certain education and training institutes. OPMS formally denounces the continuation of unregulated and non-standardized training pathways characterized by the uncontrolled proliferation of KTS, HND, professional bachelor degrees, and other qualifications that do not lead to the state diploma in nursing, midwifery, or allied health professions.
With firm conviction and a bid to ensure the smooth functioning and proper recognition of health professionals and graduates from state-approved and professional health institutions, the Order of Health and Medical Professionals calls on the government to fully implement the resolutions adopted on August 16, 2024.
OPMS hereby recalls to public authorities and to public opinions the critical measures requiring urgent implementation as stipulated in the final communique of the Inter-Ministerial Consultation of 16 August 2024, jointly signed by the Minister of State, Minister of Higher Education, and the Minister of Public Health.
The Order of Health and Medical Professionals continues to work tirelessly to promote good health practices across the country.
It is on that note that we come to the end of our newscast this evening. Thanks very much for watching. We urge you to stay tuned to other programs on Info at Television. God bless Cameroon. Good night.